common pistol cartridges, or reframed as a question, the best caliber for beginners. Caliber means diameter of the bullet. And if you spent any time online, people are pretty obsessed about the size of their bullets and guns. Here we have some 9mm bullets. Now don't go out and buy the largest caliber handgun you see. One of the biggest aspects of choosing the best gun for you is having the largest caliber that you can handle. Get something too powerful and you'll end up with lots of big holes behind your target and likely some very unfun range sessions. I'd much rather go for easy to shoot and slightly smaller holes, but all on target. As we go through these calibers, a good metric to keep in mind is grains. It's a super small unit of weight, about 7,000 grains equals 1 pound. But it helps you see the difference in bullet weight of the same calibers and even within calibers. For reference, a penny is around 35 grains. Let's begin with some common calibers. There's bazillions of calibers out there, but these are ones you're most likely to see for handguns. First up, 22 LR. The tiny 22 LR. You can tell the caliber with the numbers. This means that the diameter of the bullet is 0.22 inches. And LR, that stands for long rifle, since there's also other types of 22 cartridges. It's a great caliber to start training with. My first gun was a 22 LR rifle. It's cheap at around 5 cents a round when it's normal times, and there's virtually no recoil. However, it's not recommended for self-defense unless it's literally the only caliber that you can handle. Let's take a look at the back of the round. You can see that it's flat, there's no primer. The firing pin will actually hit the rim of the cartridge to set it off, and that's why it's called a rimfire cartridge. Normal bullet weight is around 30 to 40 grains, so just around the weight of a penny. Next up is a 380. Now we're talking a little bit. This round steps it up, as most commonly seen in pocket pistols, or really small guns that you use for backup or really deep concealment. It has a little more oomph, but it's still easy to handle. Let's take a look at the back of the cartridge. There's a primer in the center where a firing pin would hit, and so it's called a centerfire cartridge. All the rest we're going to see are also centerfire cartridges. Next up, 9mm. My personal favorite and what I would recommend to defensive shooters as their first caliber. There's an MM attached to the 9, so we're moving away from inches and into millimeters. It can also get confusing since you'll see it sometimes as 9 by 19 millimeters. 9mm is the diameter of the bullet and 19mm is the length of the shell. And if it couldn't get any more names, it's also known as the 9mm Luger or 9mm Parabellum. If in doubt, ask the gun store employee when you're buying ammo. It's soft shooting in both a full-size handgun or compact handgun, and there's tons of effective hollow point rounds that we'll cover in the following lessons. Here, you can see some used casings where the primer has been struck. Bullet grains vary, but the most common variants are 115 grain or 124 grain, and sometimes they'll go up to 147. Next up, the 40 Smith Wesson. It's more oomph than 9mm and also snappier too. It was developed by the FBI when they wanted a round with a little bit more stopping power after a bank robbery gone wrong in the 1980s. However, they switched back to the 9mm in 2015 since agents were shooting much better with the 9 compared to the 40. Common weights are 165 and 180 grains. Up next is the 45 ACP. The 45 ACP, or automatic Colt pistol, is the standard ammo of the 1911. It's big, it's slow, and it's been known to have great knockdown power. Because of that, its recoil is much higher as well. 9mm versus 45 ACP will always have a special place in my heart and on the internet. The bullet weight is about 230 grains, and if you can handle it, get it. But with recent advancements in hollow point technology, I'll stick with the 9. Now we're looking at revolver loads, starting with 38 Special. The 38 Special is the most common and is pretty mild shooting in anything but a super small revolver. You can see in my full metal Smith Wesson 686, it's super controllable. Bullet weights vary from 110 to 158 grains. Last up, the 357 Magnum. Sounds powerful, right? It's the scaled up version of the 38 Special with a slightly longer case and more gunpowder. Guns that are rated for 357 Magnum can also shoot 38 Specials, but if you have a 38 Special only gun, its chamber is going to be made so that you cannot put in the longer 357 Magnum. It definitely has more oomph than the 38 Special, but keeps the same caliber bullets, and the bullet weights range from 110 to 200 grains. These are the most common handgun calibers. I'd suggest testing out the 380, 9mm, 40, and 45 ACP at a local range that rents, and a 38 Special and 357 Magnum if you're going the revolver route. But my personal suggestion is going with the 9 if you're going with a semi-auto. And just for fun, here's some common rifle rounds. Here's the 5.56 that powers the AR-15, the 7.62x39 that powers the AK-47, the 7.62x51, which is the more powerful NATO round, and before I forget, the 50 BMG for comparison. Hey guys, Eric from Peep Tactical again. Hope you enjoyed that little snippet from my beginner handgun course. If you want to see more educational content like this, let me know in the comments below. And for details on that course, check out the link in the description.